Welcome to the NSIC Spotlight, the voice of the NSIC student athletes, powered by gpac. gpac, growing people and companies. I'm your host, Nick Corner, Assistant Commissioner at the Northern Sun. Today, we are joined by Emily Herzberg of the Minnesota State Mavericks, the NCAA Central Region champions. Emily,
Yep.
thanks for joining us on the Spotlight.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Nick.
All right, as we do each week, let's start with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Emily Herzberg. I'm a senior on the MSU women's basketball team, obviously. I'm from Melrose, Wisconsin, and I'm an exercise science major.
All right, we're going to get straight to the court. The Mavericks are
Okay.
Central Region champs. You're headed to
Yes.
the Elite Eight. As we record this, we are less than 24 hours removed from the regional championship. Has it sunk in yet that you're advancing to St. Joseph and playing in the Elite Eight?
Honestly, not quite yet. I mean, we obviously had our fun last night. We celebrated together, but we just got back to Mankato about an hour ago. So, the boys play tonight, so it's a big game, big weekend in Mankato. But yeah, it hasn't really set in yet, and we're gonna be having fun for the next few hours and getting right back into practice again on Friday.
All right, so let's go back earlier in the season. You had some regional losses that have the
Mhm.
Mavericks come in as a 7 seed in the
Yep.
8-team bracket down in Oklahoma. What was the message from Coach TC when you saw your seed in the regional tournament?
Initially, I mean, like the team was probably a little disappointed. I mean, whatever. I mean, TC kind of went along the lines that seedings don't really matter. I mean, when you're in, and everyone's got to win 3 games regardless of what number you start with. So that was kind of, we saw the 7 seed and we put it in the back of our minds and we just went down there to win games and have fun. That was TC's message as well, I'd say.
You'd go down there, you had to win 3 games, but you had to beat the 3, the 2, and the 1 seed, avenging earlier losses to both Fort Hays State and Southern Nazarene on the way. How has this team grown during the season?
Yeah, the Fort Hays and the Southern Naz game in November were obviously one of our first couple games of the season, and theirs as well. But Joey was missing. Joey Bat was missing for those 4 couple games, and she's kind of, we like to say, the heartbeat of our defense and our whole team. So since then, we have grown tremendously. Even those couple losses were kind of the first little kick in the butt for us to get it together and come together, really. And since then, it's pretty much been riding high and getting better every single game.
Fast starts and swarming defense. In all 3 regional contests, you scored early and pestered the opposing offenses.
Mhm.
They're in single digits sometimes in the first quarter. Describe
Yeah.
this defense and how you keep up the intensity for a full 40 minutes.
TC's always said that it's kind of on the starting group to set the tone and get things rolling. I mean, obviously it's not our goal to come out and, pound on them in the first couple minutes or so, but it definitely gets the energy going and gets us settled into the game as well. We've always prided ourselves on our defense, and our offense comes from making plays happen on defense. So the sooner we can just set the tone with our defense and get a couple steals, hit a couple easy shots, the quicker it is for us to get rolling, for sure.
As a 6-foot center on the team, how would you describe your style of play and what's your role on this year's team?
When I first came here, I definitely part of the appeal to play for TC is how much she prides the team in defense, so that I've always been more comfortable on the defensive end of the court. But especially this year, I've really grown into my role on offense as well. I just try to do the little things, rebound, make plays happen on defense, get the steals when Joe and Dee and Nat are up pressuring and stuff. And then lately it's been nice because I've been hitting open shots when I get kickouts. So yeah, that's my role. I just try to do little things and do what I can.
You mentioned the 3 Bs, the killer bees, Joey Bat, Destiny Birch, and Natalie Raymer were all named to the Central Region All Tournament team. Talk about their play and the other Mavericks that make this team special.
Yeah, Natalie, Joe, and Dee are probably one of the most skilled and aggressive backcourts you could have, and probably anywhere in the country right now. And they all bring such a different thing to our defensive pressure. Nat's long, Joey's quick and everywhere around the ball, and Dee's just tough and gritty. And I think with them being up, especially in our press, it just makes everyone want to play harder for them. So everyone asks, like, how do you get them to play so hard? How do you guys keep it going for that long? And honestly, we don't know any different. We just play hard every game, and our pressure's again what we pride ourselves on. So, just having those 3 in the backcourt makes the rest of our jobs a lot easier, and it makes us want to play even harder for each other. And on top of that, I'd say this weekend, Hannah Herzig and Kenzie Schweim brought a lot of other defensive things in the backcourt, especially coming off the bench. They've definitely grown in their role this year, adding to our defensive pressure. So I'm just really proud of them for how they stepped up, and they also bring a different aspect to our backcourt.
The culture Coach TC's brought to this program, what is that, and what is it like to play for her?
TC's so fun to play for. All of our coaching staff has so much confidence on us to just go out there and make plays. TC's favorite line is go out there and do the dead wrong thing and make it right. And that is just kind of a weight off your shoulders as a player to just go out there and try to make plays happen. And it just instills a lot of confidence on us. So, obviously it's a really fun system to be a part of. It's fun paced, and there's no, unless you're not playing defense hard enough, there's not really anything you can do wrong, which is really, really great to play for.
Your next opponent is still to be determined. There's one regional championship left to play, and then they receive the top 8 teams. The site will be familiar for you, though, as you play Monday, March 25th at the St. Joseph Civic Arena in St. Joseph, Missouri. That's the site of your games with Fort Hays State and Southern Nazarene back in November that we mentioned before. How will playing in that arena earlier this year help in preparation for the Elite Eight?
Well, obviously, it's nice that we have already played there. We know the court a little bit and kind of the atmosphere, so it's not going to be like a shock to get there or anything. But I also think we're just that much more hungry too to go back there. Obviously, when we played there in November, like I mentioned earlier, we weren't the same team. That was probably some of our, I don't want to say worst, but least aggressive games of the season. So I think we're just hungry to get back there and show St. Joe's who the real Mavs are.
No matter the outcome next week, what will you take away most from this season?
It's just been so fun. Obviously it's my senior season, so to go out like this and playing hard and playing our best basketball in March, it's one of the best things you can ask for. These girls are our ride or dies, my ride or dies. So yeah, it's just been so much fun. It hasn't been hard work at all.
Last question for you. I know you just got back to Mankato about an hour ago, but the men's Central Region game is tonight. Tournament champions, you had indoor track and field champions down there. What's the vibe in Mankato the last month with the success that's been happening?
It's been crazy. I mean, honestly, we haven't even like seen many of the other athletes because we've all been on the road or going to our respective championships, but just the support that our administration has behind us and all the love that they're showing us is anything you could ever want. And we have a great atmosphere here in Mankato for not only basketball, but spring sports, winter sports, fall sports. It's the place to be for sure.
And a shout out to the Maverick Machine for making their way to the Pentagon last week.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they'll be playing tonight, but they always add an extra element to the contest with what they bring. So thanks for
Yes.
being there. All right, that's going to wrap up this week's show. Thanks again to our sponsor, gpac. Emily, best of luck to you in the Mavericks and the Elite Eight.
Thank you so much.